Hi guys, it's Dr. Pete here from the Level Up program for high performance teams. In this short video, we're going to zoom into KPI 2, performance reporting, and show you some practical things that you and your team can do to level up to become a higher performance team.
Hi everyone, Alistair Kerr here for the High Performance Teams project. If you're like most people at work, you can find that it can be really easy to get drawn into the day-to-day busyness of everything, frantically moving from fighting one fire to the next. However, to improve team performance overall, it's often necessary to slow down and look at the bigger picture. High performance teams do this by regularly engaging in strategic inquiry.
That is, to identify and investigate issues that are critical to the success of a plan.
In today's video, we're going to take a look at how high performance teams use strategic inquiry to level up their performance through using a specific and disciplined approach called deep dive discussions.
By including deep dives inside of regularly scheduled team meetings, every team can stretch their strategic inquiry muscles in as little as 15 minutes per month.
The first step to preparing a successful deep dive is the preparation that happens outside of the meeting. It's important for those who'll be running the deep dive to get into the zone and to switch their thinking up from reactionary crisis-driven mode into logical strategic thinking mode. This is best done through a simple reflection activity answering the big question.
Thinking about the topic that you would like to deep dive on, describe the most significant problem impacting upon your team or organization. What is the best possible outcome if the problem is solved? And what is the worst case scenario if it is left unsolved? Answering this simple question provides the scaffolding to reveal the most important strategic issues, otherwise known as the 5% issues. 5% issues are the issues that usually sit at the periphery of our thinking because they're either too ambitious or too time or energy draining to tackle during the course of a day's regular business. However, these are also the issues that, if resolved, will push the team further, making other actions easier or potentially even unnecessary, allowing for effort to be spent elsewhere.
Once the 5% issues have been identified, the next step in preparing a deep dive is to devise a strategic question that's worthy of the team's time and consideration.
Too often, questions that are raised within meetings are too vague or general, or of low strategic importance. These questions don't meet the standard of questions required to conduct a deep dive and are better suited for other forums. A formula that many high performance teams find useful for forming their deep dive discussion question is: how can we ensure that a specific outcome occurs by a specific time so that everyone can benefit from a specific impact?
Remember, a good question is one that stretches and pushes the group. A question that throws down a challenge so vast that it makes us open our minds to new ways of thinking.
Take a look at the screen now. Here, you can see an example and non-example of a deep dive question that was posed by an executive team from the healthcare sector. As you can see, while the broader issue at hand is around successfully delivering a 10-year strategy, the sharp and narrow 5% issue inside of this is around executive engagement. Here's another example and non-example of a deep dive question, this time from the education sector. Again, as we can see, the broader issue at hand is around inconsistency between QCS and school-based assessment data. However, zooming into the sharp and narrow 5% issue, we see that it's really all about how the school leadership team can improve consistency so that they can guarantee that when students get an A at their school, that it's reflected in the QCS results. As you can imagine from both examples, taking the time to go sharp and narrow on the 5% issues will yield far tighter and more valuable discussions.
Preparing for a deep dive can be extremely challenging because it's easy to be tempted by daily distractions into non-strategic thinking. Because of this, we recommend using a template and pairing the presenter of the deep dive with a coach to aid in preparation.
Beyond the probing question, the deep dive template is designed to capture what is already known about the issue in terms of both facts and emotions. In addition, the template captures what has already been tried to resolve the issue at hand.
The added bonus of completing the deep dive preparation worksheet is that it not only helps to sharpen the focus of strategic inquiry, but it can be used as a handout to help team members quickly understand the issue at hand and fast track the discussion. Once a deep dive has been properly prepared, the process of running it inside the meeting is extremely simple.
The first 7-minute block of the deep dive is allocated to the presenter to outline the strategic issue and the question for discussion. This is followed by a 7-minute discussion or brainstorming session on further possible solutions. These should be captured on a whiteboard. In the final minute of the deep dive, the presenter returns to provide their summary of the discussion and any takeaways.
Engaging in strategic inquiry can yield massive results for team performance when using the simple, time-efficient deep dive process to hone in on those most important and challenging 5% issues. What are the 5% issues that your team needs to resolve in order to level up?